Welcome to Awesome Old Indies, where we look at indie games more than 5 years old that have either been forgotten about or never discovered in the first place. Today we are going really old school, back in 2010 with an awesome retro beat 'em up called Shank. This was a pretty huge game for its time, and to understand what made it so great, you really have to get the state of beat 'em ups at the time. We were in the heart of Generation 7, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Wii. The age of the side-scrolling beat-em-up was basically dead, replaced by 3D brawlers like God of War and Devil May Cry. While those were awesome, there is still nothing like a good sprite-based 2D brawler. We are lucky to live in a new golden age of this genre. We have incredible stuff like Streets of Rage 4 and Double Dragon Gaiden, just to name a few of the dozens of amazing beat-em-ups available to us today. But in 2010, we had nothing, and then we got Shank. Whenever I go back and play a game I remember fondly from 15 years ago, I always worry that it won't hold up well, especially given how far we have come in this genre. But I gotta say, this game rocks as hard as I remember. You play as a guy named Shank, whose primary weapon is a shank, and you go around shanking people. I like the way the story is told in this game. You start out with an opening cutscene of Shank getting beat up by a big boy named Butcher, and Shank wants revenge, so you go around killing everyone you see in order to find Butcher. The first thought I got when I was playing was like, bro, you got beat up, it happens. You don't have to kill everyone over it. Honestly, Shank seemed kind of petty to me. But as the story unfolds gradually, it gives you the full backstory of why Shank is so angry. I like this. It was compelling enough to keep me interested and had some really brutal moments. Like, check this out here. Shank cuts this dude's arm off and then follows his trail of blood to the enemy headquarters. I love stuff like this. It was pretty commonplace in 2010. We don't see as much of it now. I really miss just angry protagonists doing angry things. The gameplay here is top notch. One thing worth talking about to start is how they use every button on the controller. This is extremely rare for a beat 'em up. The face buttons are your jump and 3 different attacks. The shoulder buttons grab, block, throw grenades, and pounce on enemies. The pounce is such a fun move. When using it, Shank just flies through the air and lands on enemy to do massive damage. Combat here is just viscerally brutal. Your primary weapon, which is the Shank, never changes throughout the game, but your guns and sub-weapons do. You get a variety of different weapons, each with different strengths and weaknesses, and you can change between them on the fly using the D-pad. I don't think any one weapon is definitively better than all the others, and I found myself switching around as the game progressed. At least until the end when I got the katana, that weapon was definitely the best weapon. You can combo your moves in a variety of different ways. It is really fun experimenting with all the different things you could do. Combat has a really nice bloody weight to it. Sound effects are gruesome, and the animations are pretty amazing. It never got old pouncing on someone with a katana and then just gutting them while they were on the ground. There's some platforming here as well. It's usually pretty simple and has some nice parkour elements. You can run up walls, run across billboards, swing from designated areas. It's fun, nothing too hard, and the game offers extremely liberal checkpoints, so if you die, you will restart almost right back to where you died. Some of the battles can get pretty tricky. Enemy variety is large, and the game is constantly throwing new opponents at you. If you just try to mash your way through, you're going to die. Definitely learning how to use all your moves and when to go defense is really important. The block here is stellar, and sometimes it even acts as a parry that allows you to counterattack. It becomes absolutely vital to defeat some of the harder mobs of enemies, and you can block everything from bullets to grenades and basically everything else. You also fight several bosses. These were generally large hulking dudes with one exception that usually requires some kind of environmental gimmick to defeat. Like you have this gimp here. He just wants to hug you. Probably not to do great things with you, but these other smaller gimps drop down also, so if you get him to hug them instead, you leave him open for a hugely damaging attack. This is generally how all the bosses work, and they were all pretty easy once you figured out, except for the last boss, who provided a bit more of a challenge. Shank is just one of those exceptional games that was both really important and really spectacular. I don't feel it gets talked about much anymore, and that's a shame, because this game should not be forgotten. It is still an absolute blast to play, and feels different than anything else I could think of. At the same time, it serves an important role in the revitalization of the modern beat-em-up, coming at a time when no one else was making games like this. If you haven't played it already, you absolutely must check this out. It's a no-brainer. But even if you have, go back and play it again. I think you'll find that it's just as much fun as the first time around.